Why did the chronicler give us the genealogies of Ishmael, Keturah, and Esau? This is the question we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of 1 Chronicles on walking through the Bible. Today we're going to be discussing 1 Chronicles chapter 1, verses 29 to 37. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to 1 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 29. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, 1 Chronicles chapter 1, beginning of verse 29. These are their genealogies. The firstborn of Ishmael was Nabajoth, and Kedar, Abdeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jether, Naphish, and Kedema. These were the sons of Ishmael. Now the sons born to Keturah, Abraham's concubine, were Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. The sons of Jokshan were Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldaah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham begot Isaac. The sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. The sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jaalam, and Korah. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zephi, Gatam, and Kenaz, and by Timnah, Amalek. The sons of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. In our last lesson, we saw the chronicler give us a list of genealogies from Adam to Abraham, concluding with Ishmael and Isaac. Unlike what we read of in Genesis, 1 Chronicles doesn't give us the age of all these men, either when they had children or when they died, because that is not the goal. It is not to give us a history of the time from Adam to Abraham, for Genesis could do that. It's to refresh the returning captive's mind of who they were as a people, where the other nations around them came from, and where everybody ultimately came from, which was Adam. Genealogies were important in Israel, for they determined inheritance, the promises of God made to certain peoples like Abraham and David, as well as duties within Israel, especially surrounding the priesthood. To that end, the chronicler is going to focus on two families in particular, David and Levi. The other tribes will be detailed too, but the promise of God of the Messiah was given to the house of David, and of course David was integral in organizing the temple worship before his son Solomon built the temple. In order to organize the temple worship, you had to know who the Levites were. That's why the chronicler started with Adam, the father of all men, going through Noah, the father of all men saved from the flood, and then to Abraham, the father of the nation of Israel. But of course, Abraham had more than one son. The seed of promise was Isaac, and we'll have plenty to discuss about his descendants for much of the rest of this book. For now, though, and through the rest of chapter 1, the chronicler chooses to focus on the other children of Abraham who were not the seed of promise. Why would he do that? Well, to show Israel that just saying that they're the children of Abraham and that's what made them blessed was an oversimplification of the truth. They were children of Abraham, they were blessed, and they were the people of God. Why? Because of what we recently studied in Romans 9, because the election of God to be the people through whom the Messiah came. God didn't select the Jews to be saved because they were Jews. He selected them for a purpose, to bring the Messiah into the world, and as such, he gave them his law so that they could be faithful to him. Could these other nations have been saved too, if they had faith in God and sought him according to the law that was revealed to them? No, they couldn't be saved by that law, as Romans 2 would make clear, but they could be saved by faith in God, trusting that God would provide them grace due to their faithful obedience to him. Again, this is not earned, but faithful obedience is a requirement of receiving grace. Now, of course, Romans 1 made it clear that the other nations abandoned God and served idols, and so God gave them up to follow after their passions. But God didn't cast them aside because of who they were, but because of what they did. The nation of Israel returning from captivity needed to know that. They needed to know that these other people were children of Abraham too. They needed to know where these people came from, and knowing this, perhaps understand why they act the way they act. Let's quickly look at the children of Ishmael, Keturah, and Esau, who would be the firstborn of Abraham's son Isaac. Let's begin with Ishmael and his descendants. And what we'll do here is the same thing we did in the last lesson, which is compare the genealogy list here with the one found in Genesis, in order to strengthen our faith in the accuracy of Scripture and the inspiration of God. Ishmael's descendants are listed in 1 Chronicles 1, verses 29 to 31 as follows. These are their genealogies. The firstborn of Ishmael was Nabajoth and Keturah, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jether, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael. The list for Ishmael found in Genesis is Genesis 25, verses 12 to 16. Now this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's maidservant, bore to Abraham. And these were the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nabajoth, then Kedar, then Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadar, Tema, Jether, Naphish, and Kedemah. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their towns and their settlements, 12 princes according to their nations. Notice these lists are identical. Not even any spelling differences here. Ishmael was actually the oldest son of Abraham, though born through Abraham's wife's handmaiden, Hagar, because Abraham and Sarah got impatient with God in providing them seed. This decision was unwise, as God did not need any help fulfilling his promises, and he would not accept Ishmael as the substitute seed of promise. However, God would bless Ishmael nonetheless by making a nation out of him too. This nation dwelt between Havilah and Shur, which is between Saudi Arabia and Iraq today. However, instead of being friends of Israel, they were often found as enemies, likely due to Abraham's treatment of Hagar and Ishmael following the birth of Isaac. Ishmael's descendants are still around today and live in largely the same region, most of them being Muslims if they live in that region. Once Isaac was born, Sarah lived just over 35 more years before dying. She never met her grandchildren from Isaac, for Isaac wouldn't marry until he was 40. Once Sarah died, Abraham married Keturah and had other children through her. Keturah's children, according to 1 Chronicles 1, 32 and 33, are this. Now the sons born to Keturah, Abraham's concubine, were Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. The sons of Jokshan were Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldeah. All these were children of Keturah. When we look to Genesis, we find the genealogies listed in Genesis 25, verses 1 to 4. Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan begot Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldeah. And these were the children of Keturah. When you take a look at these two lists, the only difference you find is that the sons of Dedan, the son of Jokshan, are missing. Why? Well, we don't know for sure, but the name that is left in is the name that we would recognize, which is Midian, the father of the Midianites. The Midianites would play a major role in Israel's history of Moses, for Moses' wife was a Midianite, with her father being a priest of Midian. While in the wilderness, in Numbers 25, the Midianite women got some in Israel to commit harlotry, for which they were punished. And then in the book of Judges, the Midianites were from time to time seen as oppressors in Israel. And yet both nations were of the seed of Abraham, as was another of Israel's enemies, the Edomites. The Edomites weren't part of Keturah's children, though. They were descendants of Esau, Isaac's firstborn. Esau was named Edom because he desired some of Jacob's red stew and sold his birthright for it, with Edom literally meaning red. In Esau's case, he wasn't the seed of promise, Jacob was, but again, that doesn't mean that he wasn't blessed by God either. These are the descendants of Esau according to 1 Chronicles 1, 34 to 37. And Abraham begot Isaac. The sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. The sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jaalam, and Korah. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zephi, Gatam, and Kenaz, and by Timnah, Amalek. The sons of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. The genealogies from Genesis is Genesis 36, verses 10 to 14. These were the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau, and Reuel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Now Timnah was the concubine of Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. These were the sons of Reuel, Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These were the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. These were the sons of Aholiobama, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon, and she bore Esau, Jaish, Jalem, and Korah. Again, looking at these lists, even though they are structured differently, they are the same names. Genesis' account may be a little more detailed, but they are the same names. These were the Edomites, a people who dwelt across the Dead Sea to the south and east of Judah. Of the sons of Esau, to take note of, was Amalek, for these peoples would be the Amalekites, who would oppress Israel on their way to Mount Sinai, and whom God commanded be destroyed by Saul, though Saul ultimately did not complete this task. All of these peoples, however, though not the seed of promise, were yet still children of Abraham, and thus the people of God needed to know who they were in order to understand the histories between them and Israel in the past. We'll conclude chapter 1, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of I Chronicles chapter 1, verses 38 to 54, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.